And then I had to push it out of the hole and around, right? That's the kind of stuff that I'm.
That's crazy. But I don't know. I don't know that I can work on anything that small.
Yeah. Well,
That'd be frustrating.
That's cool.
I did sit down and go through my emails and I had to think about it just a little bit before I dove into it.
I said there was six.
Oh, cool. I was gonna say 6.
Jordan.
Yeah. Yes. This is.
Oh, it does. I thought it was that. Okay, that's all right. So it just goes through.
Yes.
A bunch of them come up. Okay. Okay, we didn't touch it to move on. Okay, thank you. You sure?
But.
I may have to ask you something. Do we want to wait for Dave to get his computer going or what?
I can catch up.
Okay. Julie, would you call the roll? Call the meeting to order first. Julie, would you call the roll?
John Bartlesmeyer,
Here.
Jim Hewens,
Yes, here.
Kirk Hart,
Here.
Brian Holt,
Here.
Robert Nelson.
Here. Would you stand with me for the Pledge of Allegiance? I pledge
allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Call to order. I have no comments from the chair. Julie, do we have any comments from the public?
No.
Okay. Let's see, page 6. Appointment of officers, positions, and officials for 2022-23. Officers and positions, information officers, previously Julie McDaniel. Clerk of the board, previously Julie McDaniel. Treasurer, Marianne Culbertson, previously. Capers representative is Julie McDaniel. ACCT representative and Council of Presidents representative is previously Kirk Hart and Robert Nelson. And the Greenbush representative previously is John Bartlesmeyer. Do we do all of these at the same time, the officials too? Okay. Designated bank for general fund, previously Landmark National Bank. Designated attorney, previously Zachary Reynolds. Official newspaper, previously Fort Scott Tribune. Is there any discussion on any of these? Or questions?
Make the motion, we approve.
It's been motion. Do I hear a second?
Second.
It's been moved and seconded. Julie, would you call for the vote?
Sure. Hewens,
Yes.
Hart,
Yes.
Holt,
Yes.
Nelson,
Yes.
Bartlesmeyer,
Yes.
Elliott.
Yes. She said.
I was counting, there's only, yeah.
I've got McKinney. With a question mark, that happens to me a lot.
Okay, yeah, no, okay. She said it right, and I was looking at that going, oh, that's not right. Okay.
Bill was still listed.
Yeah, let's see. Approval of the agenda, approval of minutes of previous meetings. Attached are the minutes of the board training and regular board meeting conducted on June 20, 2022. Approval of treasurer's report, bills and claims. Attached are the treasurer's report and the bills and claims report. Approval of personnel additions. Jordan Howard, Director of Nursing, rescinded previously approved resignation. Shelby Trotnick, National Pass Coordinator, effective July 1st, 2022. Connor Vernon, Agricultural Instructor, Livestock Judging Coach, effective July 12th, 2022. Selena Moses, Financial Aid Officer, effective July 27th, 2022. Alexander Chesney, Music Instructor, effective August 10th, 2022. Separations, Sarah Holder, Nursing Instructor, effective June 30, 2022. Janet Reynolds, National Pass Coordinator, effective June 30, 2022. Juan Gravet, Agriculture Instructor, Livestock Judging Coach, effective July 8, 2022. Transfers Sarah Smith from Financial Aid Officer to Foundation Assistant. It is recommended that the consent agenda items be approved as presented. Is there any discussion or are there any questions?
I just had a question. It's getting to the point where I don't know a lot of these people. We used to, at the beginning of the school year, have the new people come in and introduce themselves. If that could be possible sometime in September or something like
Yeah, the
that.
September meeting.
Yeah.
Who would we ask to have that? Would that be?
I can ask, yeah, I can ask all.
I guess you could ask them if they want to, if they don't want to come. That's sure it's okay, but, okay. Thank you, Jim. Any further discussion? I'll entertain a motion.
So moved. Second.
It's been moved and seconded. Julie, would you call for the vote, please?
Yes. Hewens,
Yes.
Hart,
Yes.
Holt,
Yes.
Nelson,
Yes.
Bartlesmeyer,
Yes.
Elliott.
Yes.
So proud.
Did I miss something?
Yeah, we're messing.
Oh.
We'll straighten up here.
I need a nap if I'm gonna keep up with those.
It's not us.
It's fair we
What? It's not us this time.
This time.
Okay. I made it wrong too. Does anybody know approximately what number we need to go to? Age? 57, maybe? No. There we
Throwing
go.
out numbers?
Thank you.
No, I
$53.
don't.
53, yes, thank you. A, consideration of 2022-2023 athletic insurance and catastrophic injury insurance. NJCAA requires affiliated programs to provide athletic insurance and catastrophic injury accident coverage. Dissinger and Reed Agency has provided 3 quotes for athletic insurance and 1 quote for catastrophic coverage for your review. These quotes are at the same deductibles and limits as last year. Annual renewal for the 2022-2023 renewal below are the quotes provided by Dissinger and Reed Agency.
We have Chuck House here on Zoom.
Oh.
Is it with us?
Just, okay. Do you want to help us give us a report as to what we're doing here?
Yeah, sure. Hi, everyone. Thank you for the time to kind of go over this with you really quickly. So as it was mentioned, the structure of the program on the base proposal as well as the catastrophic proposal will be the same as it was last year. However, there is a significant difference in what to expect this year due to the fact that football has been dropped. And so in the packet that you guys were provided, you'll see that the proposal, or at least the policy that was in place last year, was at a level that, just a second here, sorry, had the wrong.
Just can you share your screen?
Do you want me to share my screen or?
Yeah, let me do that.
Oh, you got it, okay.
You should be.
Okay, just a second here. My the PDF's not coming up, but just trying to pull it up really quick again. Okay, there we go. All right, so let me share here. Okay. So this is the proposal, the current proposal that you have on hand. And in particular, I wanted to make note of the fact that, you know, the plan in place is a zero deductible plan for the base plan that goes up to $25,000. And then the catastrophic plan dovetails in conjunction with this to where the deductible for that plan is $25,000 up to $5 million. The current premium in place today is $139,091.
I have a question.
Yeah, sure.
It says here, who is covered?
Yeah.
Chuck, can you make that bigger? I think it's gotta be on your end.
Well, I can see it. Baseball, there you go. Whoa,
Thank you.
right there. Baseball, basketball, football.
Oh,
That's supposed to be flag football.
well, that's
That should be women's.
yeah.
That's last year's premium. He's gonna compare for you.
Oh,
Yes, but the flag football is a typo, so that should be on women's. So yeah, please forgive me for that typo there. But this is from the current plan in place through the end of.
I understand. Thank you.
Okay, so as of today, the insurance carrier is Liberty Mutual Insurance Company. The claims payer is Bob McCloskey, and we are the program coordinator. The annual premium this year was $139,091. With the changes that have taken place this year, we are seeing a reduction in the premium moving forward for both the catastrophic as well as the base plan. So I'll just kind of get into this a little bit. And this page here just shows the claims that we have seen on an annual basis. I'm not going to get into the details of it at this point in time. I think you guys can kind of review that yourselves, but I just want to let you know that in most instances, when a carrier is trying to determine premium, they are looking backwards at what has taken place specific to claims that have come in. And so one thing to keep in mind is that in regards to claims, and especially for a school that has football, a majority of claims generally come from a football program. So with the reduction of football and taking it away, we were able to obtain quotes that were less expensive than the expiring premium of $139,000. So as you can see, quote, we have several options, but they go in sequential order in terms of cost. And so the lowest cost option we have is matching the same benefits that we've seen in the past. You have a zero deductible. The plan maximum is at $25,000. So that's $25,000 for each injury that occurs. And the new premium based off of what is taking place moving forward is $105,841. So we're seeing a significant drop in the base plan moving forward. And the same can be said for the catastrophic plan. Now, one of the things that I did in the course of just trying to give you guys an understanding of the impact of taking football away is that I wanted to look at claims on an annual basis to give you an idea of what you can expect moving forward. Because as I mentioned before, claims are really what are going to determine what premium is in subsequent years. So with COVID, we had some years that were not what you would consider normal years. So I went back to the 2017 and 2018 years to look at claims data. In those 2 years, we had $427,000 in claims. Of that $427,000 for those 2 years, $176,000 of it came from football. So that equated to about 41.25% of claims come specifically from football. So that will be removed moving forward. And so even though we have a reduction this year of over $30,000 in premium, the expectation that I have is that we're going to continue to see lower claims overall for the program. And my hope is that we can see another reduction in subsequent years. Now, even though the 41%, a little bit higher than what that difference is in terms of premium from last year to this coming year, I wanted to point that out because in these situations, carriers and underwriters are a little bit more conservative in terms of that reduction in claims. But they have a full expectation that they're going to see less claims as well moving forward. So in my estimation, I think this is a really good renewal in terms of the overall cost. We're seeing a pretty drastic reduction, and based off of what we could expect moving forward, I think the program in general is in a good spot. We can expect to see reductions in the future as well. In terms of the catastrophic program, and the options that we have in terms of the other base plans, I wanted to get as many options as possible. The other options, again, match the same benefits. This one is through Zurich as an insurance carrier, same TPA or claims payer, and the same program coordinator. We're looking at $107,000. And then we also have another quote from Hartford Life Insurance Company, and they came in at $122,000. So, you know, the plans are the same in terms of the options that we're showing here. And the carrier in these situations are really a funding mechanism. They're not what the school would be dealing with on a day-to-day basis. They would be dealing with Bob McCloskey. You guys would be dealing with Bob McCloskey and myself in terms of just the administration of the program. And so my recommendation would be to go with the lowest quote here and just move on down the road with that. You're not going to see anything materially different between any of the options in terms of the day-to-day operations of it. And so that's why I would say go with the lowest option available. In terms,
Anyone have any questions? I didn't mean to cut you off if you had something else to say.
oh no, the last thing I just wanted to point out was in regards to the catastrophic proposal. The premium for that plan this year will be at $5,866. Again, that's over half of, I mean, the cost of it has dropped over half of what it was in the past. And so again, this is due to the fact that football is no longer a sport that is being at Fort Scott. So we're seeing a drastic reduction in premium. And, you know, as I mentioned earlier, you're not going to see anything different in terms of the day-to-day administration of the program. Therefore, I would recommend taking the lowest cost options moving forward.
Anyone have any questions? Mark? Thank you very much. Is that Mr. House?
Yes, that's correct. Yeah.
Okay. Is that all we need? Okay.
I think so. Thank
All right,
you.
thank
so
you.
much, Chuck.
Yeah.
All right, no problem. And if there's any other questions beyond today, just please let me know.
Thank you.
All right, bye-bye.
It's a recommendation of the administration to accept the quote of $105,841 for athletic insurance from Berkeley Life and Health and $5,866 for catastrophic insurance from Zurich American for a total of $111,707. Is there any more discussion?
The sports it covers baseball, flag football, track, rodeo.
Yes.
Okay.
Basketball too.
Basketball.
Volleyball.
Volleyball. Okay.
Esports, ball, cheer.
Baseball.
Not esports.
Does it cover the dancing and cheer, you say?
Yes.
No, I thought it did. Esports on there. No esports online. It is an NJCAA sport though, so I'm surprised. I think it may be a mistake. I think it actually does cover it, but we'll see. I'll
Or they
check on it.
hurt their finger or something.
I wouldn't think there would be, but I don't know.
Tom?
Hi, he mentioned that they go over and look at like the last 5 years of claims. And there was a period of time there where we worked pretty hard to be able to do well in the athletic training room to get the athletes prepared and whatnot and get them in a shape, you know, to stretch and do stuff like that and do a lot more preventive type of things. We've seen this premium as high as $212,000. In my time here, it's hovered mainly around 180,000. And so to have it down at 105 is a testament to the coaches, the athletic training office, and I think it's, as Chuck said, using all those preventative things. I think moving forward, we can expect to see those claims drastically reduced as well.
Okay, good. Any further discussion?
I don't know that it matters when you've got men's and women's differentiated. But like there's women's cheer, but there's men on the cheer team too. Does it really matter that?
I think it's the way they categorize it, but to be honest with you, we'll probably have them fix it just because you never know if those
Right,
details
yeah.
matter until you get into a situation
I
where all
think
of
it
a
should
sudden.
be. I mean, if you're gonna
I think
differentiate
it's a good
between
point.
two.
We'll make sure that in the policy itself that it is actually differentiates between where those belong because we also, it's men and women's track and field
Yeah.
and cross country. And was cross country listed on there too?
We've asked that question before, and they capture all of them.
And rodeo too has women.
Yes.
Mhm.
I don't wanna just assume.
I think that's probably.
Yeah, thank you. So. Yeah, I got, no, but this is where I'll entertain a motion.
Second.
It has been moved and seconded. Julie, would you call for the vote?
Hart,
Yes.
Yes.
Nelson,
Yes.
Bartlesmeyer,
Yes.
Elliott,
Yes.
Hewens,
Yes.
Was Luke gonna be here tonight?
Luke is not.
Okay, we've got
he's out.
the paper here, don't we?
Actually, Julie is going, because she was the one that opened the bids, so she can visit about that.
Oh, there you go. Okay. Item B, discussion of football items for sale by bid. The disposal of usable excess equipment for the football program was approved at the June board meeting. Bids have been accepted and were opened on July 15th, 2022. Information will be provided about the highest bidder for items during the meeting, as well as plans for the funds earned through the process. Julie,
Yeah.
take it.
I think you guys all have a copy of kind of a summary of those bids and purchases and lots. Altogether, there were Luke had divided it into 15 bundles or 15 lots of equipment. Just kind of a summary, and he put it out through email to multiple schools. I think there were 70 to 100, and I've got all that over there in my file to make them aware. The bundles were posted on the internet for them to view with the link to view it on the internet, and then they could submit by submitting their bids to footballequipment@fortscott.edu. That's how they submitted their bids, rather than paper copy, because so many of them we had from all over, Kansas, Missouri, everywhere it seemed like. Altogether, and it closed at 2:00 on Friday, the 15th. And so Mary Ann and myself, and then Luke came in later and helped us go through it, because we always try to have at least two people open the bids together. That way that it is, there's witnesses to what was there and that it was done correctly. So we had 11 bidders. We sold all 15 bundles, and those bundles, you can see included anything from helmets. Down there at the bottom, I kind of give a short description of what each bundle contained. Helmets to practice jerseys to girdles, a water buffalo, blocking tackles, and that type of thing. The bidders were allowed to bid on one bundle or individual bundles if they wanted to, or to do a combined bid. We only had two combined bids, basically, and they outbid all the individual bids for the lots that they were combining for. So we let it go to the combined. So altogether, we had 3 winning bidders. Sterling, Fscc Junior College, and a Scott Smith. The total proceeds were $60,000. Luke had set it up where they are required, they can come pick it up. They're responsible for pickup and to bring a check or pay by credit card before they come and remove the product. So I don't remember, I think they are to remove it by August 2nd, if that's, they were all wanting it fairly soon paid for and removed by August 2nd. So just any questions you have, but I kind of give what the winning bid was or amount for each lot. And you can see, in case it doesn't make sense, because I know the administrative staff kind of asked me this morning, the yellow lots that are highlighted like 4, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, that was a combination bid that they bid $12,000 for it. And then the 2 orange-ish colored, or 3 orange-ish colored was a combination bid of $1,725. So any questions, comments?
Is Luke going to oversee when these people pick these things up, I'm guessing?
Luke is gone this week, so I think he has divided up. I don't know if Tom's involved or not, but I asked him that question before he took off Friday, because I thought, oh heck, I don't want to have to divide it out. He said he had somebody that was going to distribute it as it come in. So, and they knew where everything was.
I don't know, I don't know anything about it yet, but I can.
Okay.
If they come, the combined, so the helmets went for $30,000.
Right.
So that's how you can add that up. The coach's headset was 2,000, shoulder pads, I think that's supposed to say pads.
Oh, sorry.
That's
Yes.
fine. Was 12,000, so you can see, so then when you add everything up, it is, you did a good job, but it was hard for me to differentiate.
Yeah,
And it all adds up to $60,000.
Yeah,
Which we're going to apply that to the
Right. Athletic
Debt.
debt.
yeah,
which-
athletic debt.
The last time I looked at it was about 177,000. It has gone down significantly since Alicia and I came. It was much higher than that at one time. We're going to apply that to that debt. And then I've already talked to the auditor about how to put those two together and he wants to do it in this fiscal year that we're sitting in July fiscal year 23, because we sold the equipment in this year, so he wants to write off the debt, what is remaining at the end of June 23, with the money applied to it.
Is this Terry?
Yes,
Okay,
Yeah.
okay,
that
This
was
is-
his recommendation of how to handle it.
all right.
This is the debt that we have with the foundation because of the program going into the hole. And so this was done in 2014, so.
Okay. Thank you. Item C, consideration of firm to audit financial statements for June 30, 2022. For many years, Deal, Banworth, and Bolton have been the firm contracted with the audit. Hang on, I'll start over. For many years, Deal, Banworth, and Bolton have been the firm contracted with to audit the financial statements for Fort Scott Community College. Following is the contract for the audit of fiscal year ending June 30, 2022. It is the recommendation of administration that the board approve the contract for professional services of Deal, Banworth, and Bolton to perform the audit of fiscal year 2022 in the amount of $25,485. Any questions or discussion? Yes. Yeah, we've used, I don't know how many years, but this is.
Several years. Terry's telling me he's gonna retire, and then we may have to think about somebody else. But
Well,
Right
or
now,
maybe someone else from Deals or whatever,
Yeah.
but yeah. Can we put that out for bid?
There's actually a firm in, that used to be part of Deal Fletcher and Banworth, when they had Chanute and,
Did they have an office in Girard?
Phil Jarrett is part of that firm that broke off in Chanute, and I spoke to him a couple months ago, and Deals, it's hard for me to say deal banner at Bolton because I'm still old school. But they've actually contacted Phil to do some of these audits out here.
Oh.
So it could be possible in a couple of years, we may have somebody from Iowa or Chanute.
Well, again, is this something that can be put out for bid?
Yes,
Okay.
absolutely.
All right. I mean, not that I want to, stop doing with Deal Bammer Bolton, because they've been so good over the years, and they're a local company too, so. Okay. Any more discussion?
Julie, just out of curiosity, the amount of 25 to 40, how's that compare to last year? Do you know off the top of your head?
It's comparable to last year, but then last year is higher than usual, and that is because of CARES money.
Okay.
There's a significant amount of work involved in auditing that hurt CARES money.
Thank you.
I want to say it's about $4,000 to $5,000 more for that. And,
Thank you.
Any more questions or discussion? I'll entertain a motion.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded. Julie, would you call for the vote, please?
Holt,
Yes.
Nelson,
Yes.
Bartlesmeyer,
Yes.
Elliott,
Yes.
Hewens,
Yes.
Hart.
Yes.
Review of updated organizational chart. Does everybody have a copy of that?
It's just,
Page 69.
I agree with you. It's,
we just wanted you to look at the, may I see that, John?
Yes, yes.
John and I are sharing it tonight, this is.
Is it any different from what?
It is a bit different because Vice President of Workforce Development here, so that caused that. So basically, he's all the workforce stuff, plus we have, of course, the instructors that still answer to the Vice President for academics, because on the scheduling side and stuff, but also to Chris. So that piece of it gets a little bit complicated. Also, Gordon Parks was under academic affairs, but the Gordon Parks Museum moved directly under me. So that, those are the only two. Adam has this on his computer, and so we're appreciative of the fact that he went through and redid the graphics on it, but it gets a little bit.
There were a couple other updates on
Okay.
it, from the last one that we brought for just, we still had some of the grants, HEP and camp were still under finance. And so it was just some moving of things like that. With student affairs, chief development officer, we have that foundation now under that position as well.
That's right.
With the VP of Workforce Development, there's a lot of crossover within programs for Chris and I. But one of the things that could not cross over was with the CDL program. Now, the Department of Revenue had to have a direct line for your CDL program to your CDL director. And so that's one of the things that will go directly to Chris, and I'll just stay all the way up. But that's kind of the basics of that update. So
Just a question on that, CDL examiner / mechanic, what's that mean?
Well, the first, and I guess ultimately they'd be the lead trainer, so to speak, but they would drive with the students, teaching them, doing the ELDT and the course and all that.
ELDT?
Entry level driver
So,
training.
Thank you. No,
the
no, no.
CDL is loaded with acronyms,
yeah,
the
well,
FMCSA and the ELDT, anyway.
The SDP.
Yeah, they're all, so, essentially, in addition to being an examiner and one of our driving trainers, we thought it'd be beneficial to have someone who had some mechanical experience to make sure our trucks were being maintained.
Okay.
And so it would be more for the CDL for our vehicles.
Okay.
I think that was just something we decided was really important.
Okay. Anyone have any more questions about this?
Where does payola fall under this?
it'll be under both of us. So if you come all the way down to the bottom, Jim, you'll see Miami County.
Oh,
But then
okay.
there's
Okay.
underneath
Okay.
both,
Listed up here too.
yeah, underneath both of the workforce development and myself are the workforce, the CTE classes. So welding and construction are right there.
I think I understand.
Hold on, please, just administrative updates, reports.
We will start on this side of the room.
Oh, look at that. We had the gala this past weekend. I think that everybody had a good time. We ended up, I think, after all the bills are paid and everything, we'll have about 15,000 that we raised. So we're excited about that. Going back, it looks like we made anywhere from 10 to 13 in like the years that we had the gala. So I do think it was a successful event. We're looking forward to having another one. The foundation has offered over $180,000 worth of scholarships at this point, which is way above where we were last year. Last year, for the entire year, we awarded $180,000. So we've got a lot of great scholarships from our donors out there that we're trying to get around to as many students as possible. And Carolyn Sin has worked very diligently going through a lot of the bookkeeping work and whatnot, and has helped out tremendously. The knowledge and historical perspective that she brings was very valuable for me starting in that position. And Chelsea Yount, who is our cheer coach, she'll be moving out of that office as well, and is just the cheer coach now. And so Sarah Smith will be the full-time secretary over there, and we're looking forward to getting things going. But it was a good last 3 months. We had a lot of events and everything out of the foundation, and I look forward to doing a lot more. As far as the student affairs side of things, when the students aren't here, it's usually pretty quiet. But we are looking pretty good in terms of the applications for housing. I know that's always a concern. We are looking at 100% capacity starting with the fall in all of the locations, including our apartments at Sycamore and Garrison. We should be very close to 100%, if not at 100%.
We're not using the hospital anymore,
We're not,
right?
no.
Okay.
Nope, we have 47 beds at Sycamore and 40 at Garrison, 42 at the Lodge, and then we have about 224 on campus.
Okay. Who's next?
Mr. Mayorelli.
Oh, yeah.
Well, I have recovered from COVID, my first week on the job. Been working on the CDL program and getting the driving map put together and the MOU assigned and sent in, and so we're kind of waiting to hear on that. We do have 2 or 3 applicants for the trainer. 2, okay. So two for that, and we will start looking at those, getting those interviews in, because that's one of the requirements in that MOU is that we have 2 examiners on staff, and so I've gotten certified, and then we'll get the next one done, and then it's going to be interesting to see how it grows. I'm excited to see what happens with that. Spoke with Tyson Winningham from his Department of Commerce today, and so we'll get some numbers to them and tomorrow and kind of just see where it goes from here. But it's kind of an exciting thing to be working on.
Is that the gentleman that came here?
No, that's Brian Brunt.
Okay, all right.
He's Department of Revenue.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay.
That's who did our third-party testing.
Yeah. Go ahead, I'm sorry.
Oh, no, that's fine. Have that working on. This morning, if you're want something to do, go to KKOW 860 radio. I was on a radio show that they have in the mornings, and you can live stream it. If you go to about minute 49 is when I start on that. And so it's just an opportunity. It's something I started doing with as a CTEC director a couple years ago, and so I let them know that while my position has changed, I'd be more than happy to come in, and it's an opportunity to talk about what all we do and what we do for students. It's just a really positive thing. So it's a good thing that I kind of enjoy doing. And then, another thought on the same now, radio. Oh, the CTEC director position, we do have 4 applicants for that at this point. And so we're kind of working with the CTEC board of directors to get moving on that. So hopefully we can get that position filled fairly soon as well.
What time do you did it weekly or?
No, the radio program is every day, but they pick me up on a Monday when they're actually in Pittsburgh. I don't know, it's probably 3 or 4 months ago when I did it last. So, so she, Shannon Bruffett is kind of the lead, and she emailed me and asked if I'd be interested in coming in today, and so she'll randomly pick a time when it's good for, she was thinking as enrollment comes, I can talk about where we're at on our classes and that kind of thing.
And are you having any enrollment going on yet, or
We do. So at CTEC, one of the challenges is that sometimes our high school students don't get to the website and apply now. So I have some really strong preliminary numbers, but until they actually become a Fort Scott student, I can't put them into classes. But our welding classes are full down there. Carpentry is pretty full in our first block of time, and hopefully the second block, we can start moving students that way. Masonry would have room, and then HVAC looks really good. We actually have the highest enrollment of high school students in HVAC that we've ever had. I think there's like 10 students that are interested in on the high school side. And so if we could fill it up with our 15 to 17 college students, we would look for an adjunct instructor that could come in and just do the high school students because they're only there for half the morning. Yeah. So excited about that. And then Adam and I tomorrow morning have a meeting with Destry and Vance, the 2 superintendents of Uniontown here in Fort Scott, to start talking about what can we do here. And Destry was a big part of what getting CTEC going. So I was really excited to see him coming back to Fort Scott, and we've got some things in place that we can do, and I'm just excited about that opportunity. And you couple that with what's going on in Lynn County, and I think we've got a really, we're at exciting times to create some more enrollment, which is great for us, but really is great for the people that we serve.
Well, I was very excited to hear that Destry was coming here for 234 because I know what he did for 250 in Pittsburgh for the CTEC programs, and yes, I'm 100%.
Yeah, so I'll be up again tomorrow morning. I'm looking forward to
Okay.
kind of
All right.
fleshing that out.
Okay,
So,
thank you. Yeah. All right, well, very short report on my end. One, in-service is August 11th, so everybody's invited to in-service. We will introduce new faculty there too, so if you come to in-service, they'll be introduced then. Open house for Pleasanton, for that building up there, is August 12th. I believe at 10:30, is that right, Chris? Or is that, am I off on that? 10 o'clock. So ribbon cutting and open house in Pleasanton for that. And right now, we're just plugging away, getting ready for the semester. 10-month faculty come back a week from today. So that'll be, that's quite a, it's coming up on us, but we're gonna be ready. Starting classes in a month.
August 12th, you said?
August 12th, yes.
That's on a Friday. And at 10:30?
10 in Pleasant.
I'd like to be there. I might try to do that, so. Okay. Jan?
We are doing a lot of outreach right now between admissions and advising. We're contacting students that maybe are on the housing list that hadn't enrolled, or students that have scholarship offers out there, or students that just applied to the school and haven't enrolled yet. So there's a lot of that going on. Phones started ringing like crazy this afternoon after those messages went out this morning in the advising office. So I think we're going to get a little bit of a bump there, get some more students enrolled. Typical summer things, working on some procedure updates and programming improvements. A lot of staff in the summer has been to professional development. 2 of our trio advisors went to a training to learn more about working with students, at-risk students. or as they called it, difficult students in the training manual. We have been camp directors are at their annual directors meeting this week in DC. Admissions is at the fair every night this week, so if you stop by, go through the merchant building and say hi to Marcus is working one night, I think Abby's working one night, and Appreciate is gonna work one night. I told them to let us know if they needed some help, and we could kind of sit at the table for them as well. That's about all we have, but just the usual summer activity.
Thank you. Julie?
Kind of short too. Ours is the usual, as Janet says, summer activity. It's year-end budget. Budget's the big thing right now, and I think we're really close to that. Maintenance, theirs is cleaning and repairs in the dorm and putting down that LVT tile that we approved. It looks very, very nice. They're pleased with it. Students start coming in end of July. I think 28, 29, so they basically got about a week, 2 weeks to get things done. Financial aid is awarding. They're a little ahead of that, of their usual schedule, but they're awarding and getting things together and contacting students that need to turn in things for next year's FAFSA or whatever. And then transportation, done quite a bit of talking with Christine. Skip transportation for a minute. I've done quite a bit of talking with Christine in the bookstore, making sure that we have books. So I think we're ready to go there. Nothing's on back order at this point. Doesn't mean it won't be, but should be here when classes start. And then transportation, he's checking vehicles, and we have one shuttle out for repair and that type of thing, trying to get them up to date and ready to go the middle of August. So just the normal summer stuff when there's not as many students around and trying to get ready for them.
Sure. So thank you, of course, as always, to all my staff and executive team, which a lot of times, people ask us, do you guys work in the summer? We're like, sometimes the summer is a little bit busier for us, making sure that we're prepared to begin the semester. Just a couple of things as related to the Department of Commerce. We've got a couple of things going with them. Chris referenced one of them. The Department of Commerce has something called the Workforce Aid Grant. That's the grant that we're working on to try to get businesses some money to help train CDL. We believe we have that. It will be, we believe we have a verbal commitment from the Department of Commerce, and that's who he was visiting with today, Tyson Winningham, who's the new Workforce Aid Grant person at the Department of Commerce. So it would pay $1,500 for every business that had a trainee to go through the CDL program. So either an incumbent employee or a potential employee, and there would be some restrictions on the fact that they would hire them. And so one of the unique things about the contract that we will have with the Department of Commerce is we get to be the point of contact. So let's say that John is Acme Trucking Company, and he comes to us and says, I have 15 students that I would like to get CDLs for. Then what happens is he doesn't have to go separately to the Department of Commerce to get that workforce aid grant. He just comes to us as the central point of contact. We give that information to him. He would sign the contract. It really is a contract with the Department of Commerce. And then instead of the Department of Commerce sending John and Acme Trucking the $1,500, they send it directly to us. And so that is a unique thing that they have not done before, and we're hoping, we being us, the Kansas Board of Regents and the Department of Commerce, are hoping to stand this up as a model for others to be more flexible in using that workforce aid money, which has been a little bit hard to use because the businesses have trouble. First they have to contact the college, then the Department of Commerce. The other thing that's unique about this, and again, we have verbal confirmation but not written confirmation yet, but we hope that that's coming soon, is that it won't just be for private business, but in this case, I know that I worked hard on convincing them that public business in Southeast Kansas is incredibly important. Because if you look at our small communities, the cities, the counties, the school districts, the college, we are some of the largest employers in the area. And so let's say that 234 comes to us and they need a school bus driver. They also, School District 234, also qualifies for the $1,500. And that will be unique because the Department of Commerce in the past has not given money to public entities, only private businesses. But they agreed that it is a very big part of workforce development and then the economic impact that those jobs will have in these areas. And so, like I said, we're very hopeful about that. The other thing, Department of Commerce, you'll recall that we received $800,000 to do the heavy equipment simulators. That money came through the governor's office actually, but they weren't sure who was going to administer that grant. It's not really a grant, but it's so to administer basically the physical aspect of the money. And so that is going to go through the Department of Commerce also. We just found that out. And so we will go ahead and put out some RFPs on those simulators. Like I said, we believe that the simulators are 200,000, no, we're getting 8 of them.
$80,000 a piece per simulator,
With
plus
some
training and support.
Plus training and support, so right at $800,000. Adam told me today that we probably won't use those simulators until January, so we still have time to get those in place. So that's also Department of Commerce.
Well, will we have a chance to go play on these simulators?
Yes, you will. They actually brought them that one day. Who was that came in? Caterpillar. Yeah, they're super cool. I mean, it's got all the, what do they call it? OEM, original equipment manufactured.
All the controls are identical to that machine.
The full-size machines, yeah.
And so some of it is learning
It's great video.
what all the switches and handles do and starting to build muscle memory before they would get on a real machine.
Sure.
I think it's an advantage to work on a real machine in the rain and the wind and whatever, but to get started, if you can start that muscle memory and learn all the controls on before you're gonna break anything.
Well, I want to be in line to do it. Absolutely, that'd be fun.
I believe Adam tipped his Caterpillar over.
I was trying to tip it. I never got it tipped, but I never got it tipped, but I got an excavator.
I had the foot
in
in
that
going
position.
great until Adam took it.
Okay.
It's a hard. We, just a couple other things. Destry and I had the opportunity to meet, I guess, last Tuesday, and so we're excited about the opportunity to work with he and also Vance Eaton, of course, so we're excited about that too, to see what we can do to do a better job on our part, collaborating and making sure we're meeting the needs of the school district, but more importantly, obviously, meeting the needs of those students to take advantage of our programs. I am going to send to you tomorrow, myself and Carter File will represent the community colleges at the Kansas Board of Regents retreat Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday of next week, and they asked us to put together some budgeting information for community colleges, because that's obviously much different than, they are the governing body for the universities. They obviously do not have mill levies, and so they were interested in seeing. Now, we finally came up with some stuff which I feel like you guys will be interested in seeing. The first piece of it is just some stuff kind of that we have that we give to HLC, and I added some stuff to that. It's a general overview of how budgeting works, zero-based budgeting, such as we do, and most of the community colleges do that. It's hard to say, though, exactly what all 19 of us do. But in there, Heather Morgan, who is our KACCT director, provided information, and this is really interesting information that basically breaks down all the community colleges and the technical colleges, and it shows like the percentage, well, it shows how much you get per mill, the percentage of your overall budget that is funded by local mill, the percentage of your overall budget that is funded by the state, what local mill funds per FTE, what state funds per FTE, and then what student tuition and fees funds. If you add up our student tuition and fees, our local funding from Mills, our state funding. The year they did it, we're 17% locally funded, 20% state funded. I want to say 8% student and fees. It adds up to 55%. That shows you how important to us the other 45% is that comes from auxiliary services, the bookstore, the administrative fees that we get from our migrant programs and all of that other soft money, TRIO, those things that provide all the really important student services, things that we can do for our students. But that 55% is really low compared to others in terms of, you know, the way we bring that in. So I'm really proud of all of the community and all of our people and how we manage this. And so it's just interesting to look at. It's pretty colorful. And so I don't know, might not have to see it.
A lot of pie charts, probably.
Yeah, there are some pie charts in there, but it's just a system. So I'll send that to you tomorrow, just because you guys should see it since we're taking it to the board of regents. But other than that, we have hired most of the people that we need to begin to start the semester. As you saw, Jordan Howard, we were pleased with that, decided to stay as our nursing director. The nursing faculty themselves had some really excellent ideas on what we should do to sort of adjust the program. They know better, obviously, than we do in terms of how we can manage working with more adjunct or part-time faculty, and they suggest that we go to a 4-day-a-week schedule for nursing, which gives those instructors more time to do PRN. I'll just be honest, I know what PRN is because my daughter and daughter-in-law are nurses. I don't know what that stands for. Basically, it's working for somebody sort of as a contract worker. Does anybody know what that means? It doesn't matter, I guess. I have no idea what that PRN actually stands for. So anyway, I think we are ready. Adam said the one that we had been missing was an English instructor. We had offered that position, but Hutchinson obviously offered him a lot more money. And so they went that direction. But we do have 2 good candidates that have recently applied, and so we should be getting that position filled as well. I would be happy to stand for questions.
It was a nice article in the paper about music.
Yes. I would like to say too that, and I think we talked about that last year, Alan Twitchell, who has 30 years in journalism, maybe I didn't tell you this. He's taking over sort of the PR. He'll be writing about all of the new people that we have coming in, and hopefully once a week you'll see articles from him in the paper about what's going on here and that kind of thing. And he is our theater director. He will continue with that, but he will take over that article writing piece. And like I said, he is an award-winning journalist, and but he decided later in life he wanted to do some theater. But so for us, it was an opportunity to capitalize on the talent that we have here. And so that's what he's doing. So thank you for putting that out, Robert.
PRN is tied to a Latin term that means as needed.
Okay.
I'm not going to attempt to say it, but.
I see, this is what happens to me every time. I can't say anything, these guys don't Google it.
Just using your resources.
No, it wasn't me
okay.
this time.
Okay.
It was shocking.
If no other questions, that concludes my report. Yes?
I have one question.
Yes.
In the last meeting, there was some discussion with the legacy group about the memorabilia, and I think we kind of left that hanging out there as an item that we tabled. Where are we at with that?
I'm working with Luke and Carolyn Sin, and Carolyn is the main person who's gonna go through this stuff. And she said she really didn't want to start until today, or maybe tomorrow, because she was involved with the gala.
Oh.
And I spoke to her last Tuesday, Monday or Tuesday. I think it was, anyway, and she said she would go to work on that. So I toured 3 buildings and looked at some of the stuff. And there's some stuff in a room and where the library is located now, in like file cabinets. And she's the one who put it there. And so she's going to be the person who's going to go through that. And get what's the young lady that works for you? Ally, she's gonna get Ally, and they're gonna make a list of a compilation of all the stuff for the football program, that is, the past football program. So we're working on that. Again, she said she'd do it, but to wait just a week or so after just till after the gala, so I said, that's fine.
Yep.
So since she put it there, she said she'd take care of it. Okay? Any more questions? First executive session. 10. Robert, 10.
Executive session. Motion for executive session for a session for 10 minutes. This is to discuss employee negotiations as it relates to negotiations with, Fscc.
Yep.
Let's see, we will take action, no action taken. Okay. No action taken at this time.
Starting at, let's say, 6:35. Gives us a few minutes till 6:45. Okay,
I need a.
yeah, do I hear a motion?
Second.
Oh, you made the motion, Robert, right?
Yes.
Okay, it's been motion and seconded. Julie, would you call for the vote?
Holt,
Yes.
Hewens,
Yes.
this is a challenge. Bartlesmeyer,
Yes.
Nelson,
Yes.
Hart,
Yeah.
Elliott.
Yes.
It's like a mental test. This was not the day to do it, but it worked.
Okay, now we need to take the chair. Take the chairs. And when we come out.
It's a conversation, like,
You want to take this and play with it? There you go. Oh, yeah. There. 882.67.
Yes.
I'll just leave that out here. Oh, okay,
Ready?
yes,
I move we return to open session.
I need a second for that.
Second.
Okay, all in favor? Oh, no, Julie, call for the vote, please.
All in favor.
Yeah,
All in favor. Bartlesmeyer.
yes.
Nelson.
Yes.
Hart.
Yes.
Elliott.
Yes.
Holt.
Yes.
Hewens.
There's just try yes.
Jim? Okay,
Ryan just proxied him.
thank you. Now, please, Robert.
I move to adjourn to executive session for 15 minutes to discuss personnel matters of non-elected personnel as it relates to the president's evaluation. Second.
Starting at.
Starting at
10 minutes to 7.
10 minutes to 7,
For 15 minutes?
for 15 minutes.
With no action.
No action.
It's been moved and seconded. Would you call for the vote, Julie?
Hewens.
Yes.
Hart, you're not in your spot.
You can't see me.
Hart.
Yeah.
Elliott.
Yes.
Holt.
Yes.
Bartlesmeyer.
Yes.
Nelson.
Yes.
10 minutes has been added to the executive session. It will now conclude at 7:15.
Moved and seconded, all in favor, say aye. No, sorry, Julie.
I don't care, you run the show.
Okay, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. Now I need, we're at
Second.
Been moved and seconded, we adjourn, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried.
You know what
Thank you.
Julie McDaniel tells me?